What is going on YouTube? My name is Dom, and welcome to another video. Now, before I get started on this one, actually, I needed to mention something, because when I put out my sniper video last week, I totally forgot to include probably the best clip that I had out of all of them. So I wanted to play that real quick, because it's one that I'm particularly proud of. Anyway, so in this video today, I wanted to talk about something called mindfulness, as opposed to mindlessness. Now, obviously, I think you guys probably already have a good foundation, a good understanding of what I mean when I say mindfulness, but just to clarify, it's being aware of what's going on around you, being fully invested into what you're doing, contrasted with mindlessness, which is basically not being aware, just kind of going through the motions, not being invested into what you're doing. We have all experienced both of these concepts. We've had experiences where we're totally focused, we're in the zone, where we're concentrated in what we're doing, and then we have moments where we're mindless and we're going through the motions and we maybe not even catch ourselves doing it. And I think it's safe to say, definitely not guaranteed, but at least in my own experience, I have noticed anger, frustration, irritation, and just stupidity coming out of the mindlessness area rather than the mindfulness area. When I'm aware of what's going on around me and I'm actually in tune with what's going on, I tend to play a lot better. I tend to do a lot better. And this is something that you can work on. This is something you can work on, being more mindful. And one of the best things that I have ever done personally in my life is pick up a mindfulness meditation practice. Now, I don't expect anybody to pick up a meditation practice. I don't expect anybody to do that. But it's one of the things that has helped me improve and help me kind of calm down and be more focused, to move with intention, as this video is entitled. Now, I'm not going to expect you to go ahead and pick up a mindfulness meditation practice at all. But I'm going to use some of the techniques that mindfulness meditation would use, and I'm going to apply them to the game, and hopefully in ways that y'all can understand, that'll help us improve our game. Now, the first part that helps me be mindful in the game and to be aware of everything that's going on around me is thinking about my purpose at that given time. Now, I like to move with purpose. That's my first point. Where am I going? Why am I going there? Is it safe to go there? Do I know of any enemies in the area? When you constantly are thinking like that, you are removing yourself from the isolated picture of just you individually playing the game, and you're focusing on the larger picture and asking questions such as, where are other people at, and what's going to benefit the team, or what's going to contribute to me winning more. Now, what I find with this type of focus is when you are focused on your specific movement, where I'm going, am I moving backwards, forwards, am I crouched, am I running, and whatever you're doing, am I making a lot of noise? Being in tune with your own motion is incredibly important for me, and especially in stressful situations. When you have those 1v4 clutch situations, when you have 1v3s, 1v2s, whatever it may be, any stressful situation, when you focus on your particular movement, it calms you down. But at least you're not focused on dying. You're not focused on the competition. If you need to go get a revive, you are focused on go getting a revive, because that's where you're moving at that given time. If you're focused on covering access, that's what you're doing. Okay, you're not focused on being stressed or being anxious, and you're not focused on dying. Now, second is to use your drone, or really use any Intel device with purpose as well. So when I'm droning in particular, droning is huge in Wildlands. I don't know how much it's going to be in Breakpoint. So you got to use your drone with intention, right? Now, I've done this probably more than a lot of people. When I go up in a drone and I'm supposed to be looking at a particular area, like covering for an assassin that's flanking, I need to figure out if there's people on that flank in front of the assassin. What I'll tend to do is, if I see something, I always have thermal on. If I see something out of the corner of my eye, I usually try to zoom in on that, or I try to go get the mark for that. When it really serves me no purpose at that given time, I can just ping the general area for the rest of the team and then keep doing what I need to do. Don't get distracted when you're droning. Every time you go up in a drone, make sure you know what you're droning for. You have to know that, and you have to stay to that. You have to stay to the fucking game plan, because when you go off on your own and you can waste drones really easy, and that's valuable intel that can change the map. You know, if you don't drone properly for your flanking class or for your sniper class and they move and then they get killed, that really hurts you as a team. So you need to focus on where your drone is going, what you're doing when you're gathering intel. Are you trying to get marks for a sniper? Are you trying to cover a flank? Are you trying to cover your spawn? What are you doing with that drone? And stick to that and focus on doing that. Now, third is a concept of keeping your senses wide. Now, what this means is basically look and listen, but when you are focusing on keeping your vision or keeping your sight wide, what you're trying to do is make sure that you're taking everything in and not getting tunnel vision. Now, we all do this where we get tunnel vision on on a certain flank, on a certain hallway, or on a certain piece of cover where someone's at, and we focus on that, and we're ignoring all the other potential warning signs that might be around us. And one of the biggest classes that I could see happening with is sniper. Now, when you're a sniper, if you're focusing on a piece of cover, you're waiting for someone to move, there's a few options there. That person may not move. They may be waiting for backup. They may be waiting for someone to take you out, or they could jolt at any second. But it does you no good to sit there and watch the cover because you don't know what they're going to do. You need to keep out of that, and you need to not focus on that particular person. You know that guy's there, and if he moves, you have to trust your instincts. You have to trust your skill in order to take him out quickly. And if you can't do that, then that's just room for improvement, and that's all there is to it. But ultimately, there's so many times where I have been focused on a particular piece of cover, and there's someone sitting behind it, and then other people, maybe I ignore warning shots that are right behind me, maybe I'm not hearing the sounds that are right behind me, and people come up and they melee me because I'm an easy target. I'm looking down my scope instead of doing what I should be doing, which is being alert. I need to keep my vision wide so that I can hear and see everything that's going on at any given time and not be focused on one particular thing. Now, don't get me wrong, in mindfulness meditation, focusing on one thing is crucial. It's part of how you induce this sort of mindset, this sort of clear thinking mindset. But when it comes to this game, you should be more focused on keeping everything in front of you and not being tuned in to one particular piece at one given time. Now, fourth and finally is going to be probably the most important point, but one that seems contrary to everything that I just said. Don't be too focused. Okay, don't be too into it. Don't take shit too seriously. Because when you try, and this is a concept in Taoism, I'm not a fucking spiritual guru, I'm not trying to push this on anybody, but it's just ideas. If you don't like it, don't listen to it, discard it. But anyway, so the idea is when you strive for something, it becomes more difficult to achieve that thing. And this is true because when you attach yourself to a goal, I want to win this match, or I want to do that, any act that happens during over the course of that match that interrupts my flow and gets me to the point where I'm thinking I may lose this, because of my attachment to winning the match, I may get angry, I may get flustered, it's going to ruin some part of me mentally. You need to detach yourself from winning. You need to detach yourself from really any goal. You need to just enjoy the game for what it is, and that's the main idea. You want to treat it as an ends rather than a means, and what that means is you don't want to treat the game as a means to winning. You want to treat it as an end, which means you enjoy the game in itself. Even if you lost every single match you ever played, you're still going to enjoy it. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that winning and being competitive isn't fun, it isn't exhilarating or anything like that. But you just need to be lighthearted and not take shit seriously. When I find myself getting too focused, getting mad because of this, I think of the concept of the playful mind. And the playful mind makes jokes. You're trying new things. You're having fun. You may be competitive. You may be playing the best. You may be playing really hard to try to win. But always always have a playful mind. And always be relaxed and calm and ready to go. And that's the number one way that you're going to fuck people up. You're not going to fuck people up by being stiff, okay? You're going to fuck them up by being agile, being flexible, changing your styles, and trying new things. That is what's going to win you matches. That's what's going to make you better. But anyway, please let me know what you guys thought about this. Also, Breakpoint Beta is coming up this weekend. Please let me know what you guys want to see from that. If there's one particular thing that you want me to dive into, whether it's like, weapon stats, how weapons work, or, how the movement works, speed, whatever the fuck. Just let me know down in the comment section so I can be sure to cover that stuff for you guys when the beta comes out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know any ideas for future videos down there as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.